You might have seen a lot of champions meeting guide or even my guide always suggesting to grab middle-like skills to help you win DCM. But you never understood how it helps you win and why you should actually take it. Before we dive deep into the mechanics and the showcase itself, understanding middle-like skills is really important in letting you explore more fun Uma's possibilities and make your Umas win more consistently. Middle-leg skills is crucial in changing your position of the Uma in the race. The whole point of having middle-leg skills in your kit is positioning. A really simple example of this is Page Chaser Current inheriting angling and scheming for our previous CM5. This was a prototype I played around with. It's definitely not perfect, but I just want to show you that by stacking middle-leg skills and playing around certain Uma's unique, you can make a viable build to actually win the race. Here is the showcase of the build in action. Just ignore Marzinski at the front, she's there for the purpose of making the pace of the room. As we can see here on the middle leg, my current procs a lot of bunch of middle leg skills into the DC, into her unique, into speed star as well. Here she activates angling and scheming and a bunch of acceleration skill because of it, and she ends up winning against a couple of the late surgers as well. And I am not joking. This build, even with 1100 speed and no Mal S, won against fully built late surger and frontrunners with Mal S of the time. You can start to see the potential, right? Understanding the correct win condition and how middle-like skills can help you achieve this will let you win more races. Okay, now that we understand it, it allows us to explore more Uma's possibilities and make umamusume more fun in general. Let's talk about how this middle leg skill works and why they are so important. To make it really simple, first I want to divide race course into two sections: position keep zone and post position keep zone. This is really important in understanding how middle leg skills will interact with your Uma. Every race course has a position keep zone, and depending on how long the track is, the position keep will end a bit halfway further through the race. Let's start with the easy one first, the pause position keep zone. After the position keeps end, your Uma is free to catch up and move up into any position, provided they proc enough speed skills and is close in distance with the Uma in front of them. There's not really much to explain here. It's as simple as if you proc a speed skill or you are very close to the Uma in front of you, you can catch the Uma in front of you and pass them if they can. Okay, let's talk about the hard part that is the position keep zone. You might have seen those clips of Cold Ship going too further ahead because she activated Uma's stand at the start of the race. But what you see next is that she starts to slow down and go back to her design position, which is at the back. This is because activating a speed skill or middle leg skills allows you to exit what is called as base down mode. Base down mode is exclusive in the position keep zone. It is an effect that is placed on your UMA if they are too further ahead from their design position. Technically, it makes your UMA run slower, so they return to their design style and length. That is, until the position keep zone ends. Every style has this in effect, the length differs for each style, and your UMA will always follow the pace of the pace setter, which is the UMA that is at the very front. You can see what I mean by chaining middle leg skills now, right? In a perfect world scenario, you would like your UMA to chain all the middle leg skills possible in the correct timing to avoid the pace down mode and just get a really good position to get further ahead. However, this might creep you as well if not used properly, which I will explain in a later section. The easy example is on this clip, you can see my gold ship shoot up in position to the first place because she proc too many middle leg skills, and as a result, she doesn't activate her unique, which is anchors away. By understanding the middle leg skills, you can change your win condition of the UMA. For example, on late gamblers, what if I stack all the middle leg skills and inherit shooting for victory instead because my UMA will shoot up in position due to her unique and middle leg skills? This can possibly works. It is the same concept as I have shown you at the start of the video where I inherited angling and scheming on my current. Obviously, making strats like this needs deep core understanding of the game, And even with perfect planning and strategy, it will not always go to plan because at the end of the day, umamusume is always an RNG game. There are always RNG factors like how heavy the room composition is. For example, in this CM7, the room meta is very front heavy. It will be so hard to gain position as an encloser simply because they are too further ahead. So unless you are a cut gamer and you plan to full build on speed and possibly make some interesting builds, it is very hard to gain positions to the front runner. So what you might want to change is your game plan. Like, okay, I will not go full into speed skill build and invest more into gambling skills because that's how I plan to win the game. And that is by hitting my acceleration in pump, redshift, and no stopping me. But if you are stubborn enough, you can always make it work by going full speed build. For example, a Narita Taishin that inherits DDC or Duty of Dignity calls, and Weddings Mayano inherit for their acceleration source, and you just stack a bunch of middle-like skills, can win this CM7. Also, with this Narita Taishin build, you can put in some failsafe like, for example, no stopping me, just in case your whole build flops, so it still has some winning chance. Or if it both proc together with your plan, then you just straight up win. Obviously, there are more so much into the strategy, like for example, you can run a frontrunner that dies, like Haru Urara, so that your DDC will always activate, or you can run a frontrunner that dies, so they proc Dominator. There's a lot of option in the game. This is what makes Umomusume so interesting, because there's so much possibilities and strats out there. Again, this is just some knowledge I would like to share, and I do not recommend people building this unless they know what they are doing because you need a lot of thoughts into making it work. The next question becomes, should you take middle leg skills on every UMA? In most scenarios, yes, you would take middle leg skills on every UMA. Frontrunner would like to take middle leg skills so that they can make the gap between them and the other styles further and further away. Pace chasers would like to take middle leg skills so that they can keep close to the front runners and overtake them during the last spurt by activating their acceleration or their unique skill. And closers will always want better positioning and get to the sixth position because their access to acceleration is usually palm iron alongside straightaway spurt. We might have meme a lot about Taishin in CM2, about it being the potential Uma and all that. She always just get blocks and never spurt even with encroaching shadow. But looking back at this, the problem was not Taishin herself. It was that it's just simply that we didn't have enough middle-like skills. We spent all these skill points getting the gold recovery skills and didn't have any left for the speed skills. So what essentially happened to this was Taishin would always get stuck in the ninth position and never ever get to proc Nemesis. By the time she proc Encroaching Shadow, it was too late to catch up to the Pace Chaser or the meta at the time was Gold Chip, because they were just too far ahead. By the way, the reasoning Gold Chip was stronger than Taishin in CM2 was that Gold Chip uniques will always activate and essentially it's a middle leg speed skill. It will always give her better position to spurt from ahead than Narita Taishin. Imagine it like this. Here is your Gold Chip and Taishin in the CM race. Let's assume that Taishin and Gold Chip are both in equal position. They are on the 8 and 9 position, being side to side. The 50% mark of the race hits, and Gold Chip activates and gets away. Guess what will happen? Of course, the Gold Chip will gain length and leave the Narita Taishin behind, gaining position towards the front. Now, how do you as a Narita Taishin player fight against this gold chip to get better positioning? That's right. You would want to have some of the middle-like skills in your kit, otherwise your Narita Taishin will be perma-stuck to the ninth position. I hope this simple demonstration makes you understand the core fundamentals of middle-like skills. The only style that can Kim and get away with not getting middle-like skills is only late surger. The reason is they are favored in position because the style just wants to stay around the sixth position. This is why this style is mostly called late gamblers. You have access to so many acceleration skills like pump, right shift, on your left, previous feet, etc. This is under the assumption that the front runner is not too further ahead in length difference. And by the time you proc all your correct acceleration skills, you can catch up to the front runners. If the front runners is too further ahead, even if you proc your acceleration all at the correct timing, you will still never catch up to them. This last section is talking about why we want to stack middle-like skills. It is really straightforward to answer this. Middle-like skills has one major purpose, that is simply to fix your position of the UMA in the race. Without middle-like skills, you are basically just praying to the gods that you will land on the correct position for your acceleration to prompt. What if we can manipulate this by stacking middle leg skills and making the position for the acceleration skill activate in our favor? It will let us win more races because of just this simple fact. Middle leg skills also has the chance to have speed carry over into the last spurt. Speed carryover is a mechanism where you activated a speed skill just before the last spurt hits. By doing this, you have a higher starting speed into the last spurt compared to the capped target speed that your UMA have. Understanding middle leg skills is just the tip of the iceberg into all the champions meeting strategy. There are a lot of more in-depth strategy into it. For example, the chariot strategy to push the pace of the room forward, buffing your backliners, I will not go too much into the details of that because this video was made with the purpose of just understanding middle leg skills. I wanted to include this quiz kind of type to reinforce your understanding of middle leg skills. Let's say I have this Major Orion with this build. I have all the middle leg skills in the game. I have Uma Stand, I have Tail Hand High, I have It's On, I have Playtime's Over, Forfeiture of Curvature, and all that. Let's put a guess on what will happen to my Major Orion on the middle of the race. That's right, my Major Orion will push up in position up so high that I will miss the 6th position, which I actually want to activate my Let's Pump Some Iron. This is an example of where overusing middle leg skills can actually ruin your Uma build. And I'm also pretty sure you have experienced it yourself, right? When your gold ship procs Uma stand and it chain in too much beat skill before the 50% mark, they shoot up in position above the 5th and it missed the anchors away as a result. So are you saying that I should never take middle leg skills on late surger? I'm 100% sure some people will come to this conclusion and I will get crucified for this. No, taking middle leg skills is okay in moderation. Overusing it is bad if it doesn't comply with your game plan, which is your acceleration skill. How are you going to proc your acceleration skill like pump some iron, for example, if you're above the 6th position? You can invest some of these skill points elsewhere, for example, the late race skill. In our next Arimakin NCM, this will be speed skills like pressure, innate experience, shadow break. One other thing regarding middle leg skills, currently in global, our skill point is capped at roughly 1,800 to 2,000 per run from the Unity Cup. Keeping this in mind, speed skill will become more and more relevant when we have more tons of SP in the future scenarios. Because, as I have mentioned before, by proccing more skills and chaining more middle leg skills, you get to secure a better position in the race. The current state of JB version has around 7,000 to 8,000 skill points per run in the onsen scenario, and this is one of the major reasons why the tryhards in the CM of JB servers are always fishing for fast learner event, because a single fast learner event reduces all the SP cost by 10% and can give you around 5 more skills than the opponent. I hope this video helps you in understanding why middle leg skills are so important in the game and how it can change the way you play your favorite Uma horses. I also want to say that this topic is one of the harder one to explain, so I hope I don't spread any misinformation in this. And with that, if there's anything I said wrong, you can point out in the comments down below. It will not only help me but also the Uma community. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.